Hi guys, so I am back today and it's been a while. I took a little break from filming some YouTube videos because I've been a bit not caught up, but present in my life. I said this year I am focusing on being present, doing things I love. For example, today I did Pilates. I've been in the gym a lot. I've been doing like chilling by the beach or pool and things like that. Um, so I took a little break, but in the midst of that break, I was so excited to come back and do more content and different videos and different uh, formats and platforms. So today, I am very excited to talk about our topic, which is pretty much I turned 25 last September, and they say that your brain doesn't fully, is it a prefrontal cortex? Some specific part of your brain does not fully um, develop until you're 25. And 100% that is so true. The minute I turned 25, not the minute, but being in this chapter of my life, I feel a complete different approach to my life, to my social life, to my hobbies, to my activities, everything, relationships. It's interesting. It really is interesting. I do think, well, there is truth to it because it's scientifically proven, but to feel it so clearly is interesting. So I found myself, in this chapter of my life being a lot more brave and open with doing things that I want to do. As someone, as a kid growing up, I was always very creative and I was always very into art and dance and music and singing and all these different things that technically would be classed as extroverted activities, but I was also a very shy kid. So I would always have this inner conflict of wanting to do these cool things, but not wanting to put myself outside of my comfort zone. And so it's interesting at 25, I'm finding myself with my boyfriend, like booking Pilates classes and dancing and music and studio and all these things, which is so cool. It's so fun and liberating. So I thought, what a beautiful video to talk about the changes that we as humans, but I'll speak as a woman, we as women, we feel when we get older. There's something beautiful about becoming more mature and more of an adult and really enjoying womanhood. For example, today at Pilates, I was working out and I had this moment during cool down where I was genuinely just present and it felt like the Holy Spirit. It felt like God's presence of me just staring up at the ceiling fan because there was a fan right above me. And it felt like everything else around me was muted. And I just had this moment of like, wow, I'm so at peace. Like I'm doing something for myself, for my body. I'm not, it's for me. And I felt this peace of like, wow, I'm so blessed to be in this place mentally of putting myself out there. And because initially I was like, Pilates, it's a lot. And, the social aspect of classes and being consistent. And I made up all these narratives of what could be wrong about it. But what I've been doing this chapter of my life a lot is when I'm approaching these things like classes and lessons and schedules, um, really enjoying it and not overthinking it because I had a habit of overthinking and then it led to procrastination and not doing things that I really wanted to do because of the thoughts that were all made up in my head. Um, so I look at it now and I'm like, okay, this is an hour and a half of doing a workout, which you love to do, working out around other women. You love women. You can make new friends, and you can be present. You can escape from the house and painting and doing all these things all day. You're doing something different, and looking at it that way of this is something that I actually enjoy. It helps me a lot with overcoming that procrastination and that overthinking aspect because I'm like, you know what, I want to do this. Like I'm paying to do this. Like obviously there's a desire for me to want to do this. So what is that voice of fear? It's not my voice, it's not God's voice, because as we know, God does not give us a spirit of fear um or confusion. And yeah, I've been approaching, even when it comes to my vocal lessons and dance and things like that, I'm like, I love to do this. Stop overthinking about the instructor and what if this is tough and what. That's the joy in doing something that you love and something new. It's not always going to be easy, but you find joy in doing it and the process of learning. And I think part of that as well, as a kid, I was always very much like, I need to be good at it right now because otherwise I'm embarrassed to learn in front of people because I'm not good. And it's like, why let someone else's opinions of your growth or your whatever you're doing stop you from just doing something? It became this over kind of like a lap, a cycle of just, I want to do something, but I don't want to do it because I'm scared and da 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 da. And then you end up never doing it. At 25, I'm doing things that I wanted to do when I was young. And it's just such a beautiful revelation today. And then another aspect, I was talking to my dance instructor and I was like, girl, because immediately we're like, girl, so cool, really, really cool young lady, so talented, like many years in the industry, doing what she loves. And I was saying to her, I was explaining, I was like, I think you could relate, but growing up, like I was in a household where sometimes we had my parents had bills, like all parents, they had bills, but we didn't have the finances necessarily to do a lot of things outside of, if we have financial obligations, of course. As a kid, I felt guilty wanting to do dance and wanting to do, pay for all these different lessons because I had this consciousness of finances being a strain in the house. And that's one thing I love about my boyfriend so much, is that he actively helps me counteract, certain mindsets that I had growing up, like scarcity mindset and the fear that comes with that. And I said to her, long story short, I was like, yeah, I'm not sure if you experienced this, but yeah, for a long time, I've just never put myself first and my love for dance first and all these things because of that mindset of, I had to choose family, like our comfort as a family, or my passion and my self expression. So it always felt like my self expression came at a cost. And it's interesting because you don't realize until you're older the subconscious narratives that you take with you. And so I realized this year, I was like, wow, I really put dance like fully on the back burner. It's something that I just, as a kid, loved, but just gave up on. And that's the thing, life is life. We all have circumstances, we all have things that we deal with. But I'm so grateful to be in a position where I could see growth and I could see God's mercy and I could see this year for me, I said, is so much about just peace and being present with myself, my loved ones, but also a year of self-expression and doing things for me. When it's self-expression, not having to tell the world, but also being confident and free enough to also share with the world without being afraid. So I had that thought today. It's just so beautiful. At 25, I'm, like I said, trying new things. And it's kind of like, especially being a young woman, sometimes there is this tone of, when it comes to aging as a woman, it's different. And there's cynicism, like you're cynical about it, pessimism, pessimistic about it. And this aging thing, I'm like, I love aging, I love growing up, I love becoming more of a woman because I'm finding my voice more, I'm finding myself more, I'm standing more authentically in who I am and what I love to do. And I think that's so amazing. So I went on this rant today to pretty much tell you the beauty of growing up and becoming, well, being a young adult, but also not being afraid of what comes with that question mark of what does it mean to be an adult. As a 25-year-old, I think I could speak for people who are also my age, where we're just figuring this out. We're figuring out this life thing. We're figuring out careers and finances and love and all these different things. Creativity. Sometimes the creativity for my creative spirits out there, free spirits out there, sometimes that takes the back burner naturally because life becomes so serious. And so maybe this is your sign for someone who has put dance on the back burner, like myself, for a long time, to join a dance class, do something freeing, do something that brings you back to the present moment. Yes, it's important to be an adult, whatever that means, and to aim and have goals, and that's beautiful. But don't forget to let your inner child soar as well. Your inner child is in there, just always there, and do something that can tap into that today. Um, yeah, 25 and life is looking good. So I don't know what the point of this video is, but we'll figure it out in the title. So I hope you enjoyed, and leave a comment. As you're getting older, what are some things that you're finding out about yourself, or what's being revealed to you about life, or just leave a comment about your experiences. And I'm sending lots of love. Thank you for listening. I look crazy because I went to Pilates earlier, and I've been kind of in and out doing different things, but sending all my love to you guys, and see you in the next video.